It's been a rough couple weeks for me. Well, if you join my stream, you probably know that it's usually complicated for me to stream or to do anything a lot of the times because, well, I have to work within a really limited amount of time, and usually after uh, I'm done for the day. So yeah, I'm also feeling sick. So hi, Fecho, how are you? Let me activate this. It should be working, ideally. Yeah. Activate. Activate. Huh. How weird. What a weird thing. I wonder. If this one's failing or if someone's messing with me, but I will change it. Hi, Yvette. How are you? That should be working. I wonder if it's a matter of a connection. I don't know. Should be able to see your messages. And I wonder why these ones are not. Okay. That should be working, but I don't know if there you go. Why did you deactivate? Anyway. Could be a connection thing or it could be a me thing. Either way, just give me a second. Alright. I should have fixed it. I don't know what's going on with that light, but it turns off every now and then. It's been giving me some issues. I don't know if it's the light having an error or something else, but I'm going to figure it out. Anyway, if you decided to join, thank you for being here. Let's see if you can hear me. Uh, huh. Okay. Okay. Hi, how are you? You're back. Haven't seen you in a while. You probably think the same thing about me. Um, yeah. So today I'm gonna try to do a portrait, or yeah, a simple portrait, uh, just out of my mind. See if I can get it. I haven't been streaming because as I mentioned, I was sick. We were on a trip for a few days, and we came back with a horrible cough. No worries, so good. Thank you for subscribing. I think haven't you been here before? I think. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. The algorithm has a mind of its own, so it's just a matter of, I guess, triggering it. Maybe I'm not the greatest at doing that, but here I am, and I'm not going to stop. So yeah, hopefully at some point I'll be able to get some more views. Thank you. It's a lot better. Like when we got back, it was like, okay, I cannot talk. Like every other word was a cough. Now it's like every, I don't know, a cough every hour or so. But it was really rough when we got here. I think it was because where we were staying there was what's it called, where you throw the fireplace, and so maybe the smoke from the fireplace played a huge role on it. I'm thinking that's part of the thing, but I cannot tell for sure. How have you all been? I know I haven't been here, so I wonder. I know there's some that I haven't heard about in a while, even before I went uh, on my trip, so I'm curious. Oh, I'm in the drawing of camera. Sorry about that. I had it all figured out, and the moment I started streaming, you decided to. The light started to have a mind of its own. Well, as you can see, I am coughing, so. I think also the change in temperature has a role on it. You know? Hi Rosario. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Yeah, what what I had was like what you just heard is nothing. It was like it was really rough. The funny part about it was that our daughter. It's it's funny now, but at the time we were all worried. Our daughter had never had a cough, so she's a baby. So what was funny was that whenever she coughed, she was like start crying because she doesn't know the what it means to have a cough, or that it's just annoying, but you can get over it over time. So for her, every time she coughed was like the end of the world. So at first it was really worrying, but after a while it was kind of funny that she would get like angry every time she coughed. So yeah, oh, that's in other things. I've been thinking about my channel and how to approach certain things. Well, that's actually part of the thing. Um, when I started doing this, it definitely I would have to restart, and oftentimes I do make mistakes. The thing is that after you do it over and over and over, you kind of minimize the mistakes, if it makes sense. There's this thing that I heard that the people that make carpets, like traditional Middle Eastern carpets, they have a thing where if they make a mistake, they just repeat it on the other corners of the design, so it becomes, the mistake becomes part of the design. So that's a part of it. The other part is that you, over time, you minimize the mistakes to a point that you are the one that notices, or somebody that like is at your level or beyond your level, they're gonna spot it, like, oh, he made a mistake here. He So I don't know if that makes sense, but the other thing is, you do have to, like, okay, uh, I'm gonna make a mistake. It's gonna happen. Let me just take it as easy as I can and just enjoy the experience. And I've talked about this a lot in my streams. You have to figure out a it's not a technique, is like a strategy. You have to figure out your own strategy to sort of turn off your brain and just draw, if that makes sense. If you just are all the time consciously trying to keep control, it's not always gonna go your way. So it's a weird balance between you keeping an eye or on where your lines are going, because you have to be mindful of what you're doing and kind of try to make each line count, and at the same time let your subconscious, subconscious, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong in English, but your subconscious mind, or you're trying not to be too conscious. You have to try to be on the zone of sorts. I've talked about this a lot. Sometimes more successful than others, and I'm also figuring it out my stuff as well. So you just have to go back and see some of the other stuff I've done, and you can see me make mistakes. Like it happens. You just have to keep an eye out for them, and kind of you start to also figure out what are your pitfalls, and how to avoid them when doing this. Um, and after a while, you're gonna start to get better. There's no way. There's the only way to get to a good drawing is by doing a lot of other drawings that might not be good. So it's a learning curve as well. I'm pretty sure you know that, but uh, just don't be too harsh on yourself. I try to repeat that to myself all the time. Uh, Kind of also have this mantra of keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Uh, because it's easy for us, for anyone, to overcomplicate things. Oh, I'm going to add this, I'm going to add that, I'm going to do this. Just keep it simple. I knew I wanted to do a portrait, so okay, I beforehand started by preparing the page. Great, I have that out of the way. What am I going to draw? I'm going to draw a portrait. Okay, is it gonna be 3/4? Is it gonna be full frontal? Is it gonna be perspective? Scorso. I don't know if scorso is the way you translate it, but kind of strategize what I'm going to do in my mind to a certain extent. I might not go into details, but I'm just trying to piece together the puzzle before I put it on the page. And once I start, I have to stick to what I am saying about uh, being in the moment, and at the same time being on on auto mode, if that makes sense. Anyway, I hope that helps. I'm very sure if you ask other people, they're gonna tell you different things, but um, that's that's what has worked for me. And believe me, not all the time do I get uh, a good drawing or something that I'm satisfied with. I'm also super critical of myself, which to a certain extent you have to, because you have to know when you're not doing a good job. But at the same time, it can be a pitfall because you can overdo it and then you fall into this negativity loop. That's not what you want. So it's a lot of mind games with yourself. You're trying to you're in competition with your own skill. If you made a bad drawing before, just don't dwell on it. Just okay, that's me learning, that's me practicing. Now nothing exists before or after, only this exists right now. And that applies to a lot of things, but uh, that's kind of the way I've been figuring this out for myself. Yeah, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I make the mistake too often to lose that, and yeah, it depends on each person. But uh, if people are harsh on you, don't like people are gonna judge you, so you're gonna have outside judgment regardless. Like, try to be a kind influence on yourself as much as you can with this sort of thing. It's like, what, like if I make a mistake, oh, this I'm so stupid, and you can go back and watch my previous videos. You can probably see me. Sorry, you can probably see me do that kind of stuff. It doesn't help. Like, it's obvious that I made a mistake. Um, it's just okay. Well, do I want to start over? Do I want to continue with this drawing? What do I want to do? So that whole thing about sometimes you uh, what was it? Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Um, it really is true. Um, so yeah, the confidence, I guess it comes from practice, doing this over and over and over until, oh, something clicked and I can bring a good drawing to the table when I need to. And yeah, and even then, like, let's see. No, this one turned out okay. The other thing I talk about a lot, I don't know if I uh, mentioned this recently, but I've had talked about this, is that you get a lot of distortion. Like if I, let's see, you see how distorted the drawing is depending on the angle to the camera. That's the same thing happens to your eye and whatever you're drawing. So you actually want to have it as much as you can facing you. So let's say, where's the camera? So this is a silly example, but as much as possible, the drawing you have, like, you want to be facing the page that you're working on the best way you can. If the format is too large, then if you keep it like that towards you, like if you keep it on an angle, you're gonna get a lot of distortion. So you want to have it as much as you can facing, just facing the camera on a proper angle, which I'm trying to figure out unsuccessfully right now, but something like this, right? So maybe still you get a little bit of what I'm talking about, distortion, but that way you don't get, like, I don't know, a large head. Or let me see if I can make an example of what I'm talking about. A good example of what I'm talking about, sculptures, like big format sculptures, they have usually, because of the way people are going to interact with the sculpture, so let's say this is it visible? It's visible here. Let's say this is a person, and they're looking at a sculpture, right? They're looking at a sculpture. So I believe I heard this from they were talking about the David, Michelangelo's David. So apparently, I don't know how much of it is true, but apparently he has sort of like this disproportioned head, because I don't remember the pose. It's a weird pose that the dude has. I believe that the idea was that because most people are gonna be looking at the sculpture from down below, street level, so that made the sculptor kind of change the proportions. So he exaggerated the proportions based on where they were looking from at the work, if that makes sense. So it's not exactly following the proportions, the human proportions. Um, he was accounting, allegedly, as far as I understand it, he was accounting for that distortion that I'm talking about. So you have to account for it. If it's a really small format, you're usually not gonna have a problem because you just shift the angle a little bit and you're fine. Uh, but that's part of the reason why sometimes you try to do a portrait and it's like, oh, why does it look like this? It could be that. It could be that your measurements are off by a little bit. Uh, so yeah. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Oh, where's my? I didn't film anything. Might have to. I might have to figure something out for this after. I have these two things. I think this one's dried. Yeah, this one doesn't even work, but this one should. Let me try to film a little bit of this. Yeah. So I was saying before I started talking about this, I'm thinking about my channel and what to do with it. And I've been thinking of making another channel just for blog stuff because I cannot put the two together. Putting the sun in the corner of the page, that if that works for you, like whatever helps you move forward, and it's fine. If you feel better by having a representation of where the light is coming from, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, or what exactly you're talking about, but the important thing is to figure out what works for you best, whatever that may be. No worries, that's so good. um, I also stop talking when I'm painting because I'm trying to not mess up. Uh, sometimes with more success than other times. But what I was saying is that I might uh, make another channel just for blog stuff, because the two don't mix together well. Um, like YouTube oftentimes prefers for you to create a channel for a specific subject and stick to it, and doesn't do well if you shift around too much. So that's what I was saying. Do like this, and I would like to add more stuff, but I don't know if I will. Do I want to? Now I'm risking it, but I'll try. Go. I know it can be better, but nothing is ever perfect. You can only get it good enough. Thank you. Well, as I mentioned, this is practice, and really appreciate it. And it's a lot of practice. So uh, I think over time anyone can develop enough skill to do this kind of thing, and you just have to keep going at it. It's like uh, going to the gym, but for drawing, sort of thing. I've heard someone say like doing 2 hours a day or something. When I started, I definitely did that and more. Now I'm lucky if I get if I get to do an hour. Uh, just life starts to pull you in different directions, but I do try to put my time in because it helps develop the muscle that I'm talking about. And again, I have to keep myself in check to not overdo it, which I'm approaching that part right now of overdoing it. It's easy to overdo. It's like when you're cooking, if you add too many ingredients, it can turn into a mess. Same idea. So, yeah, that would be another tip. If you can limit the ingredients, so to speak, that you're using, that might make it easy for you. Like goes back to what I was saying about keeping it simple. Like I have a whole video about just drawing with a pen, and how how simplifying that helps you with all the stuff that I'm talking about. You're gonna make mistakes, but with a pen you have more control that you do with this, because this is like you put a small mark on the page and it's 100% darkness. With a pen you have the the easy thing that you can go really light, and you have a small mark on the page, or you can go super dark and you get 100%. So it gives you a lot of gradient. So I think it's a great tool to practice and to get confident with your drawing skill. That's actually something that they teach you when you're studying. But I was using this when I was in high school because I I wanted to get into tattooing. So in my mind, it makes sense. It made sense to draw with ink, because that's what you're gonna be doing if you tattoo. So I don't know. I hope my nonsense helps, even if it's just for a hobby, as a hobby. Every now and then I do a drawing that I'm proud of. I think this is one of them. I don't know what is about Like, this is recycled paper, and I often end up doing interesting work when I use recycled stuff. Sometimes better than when I use a clean uh, canvas or paper. I don't know. Let's see if I can shift the camera. It's a mistake. This can definitely be better, but also another thing that helps with something that you made is micro scratches. Everything, like if something, unless it's like matte, and still you're gonna have some marks on it. But if it's something shiny, like leather, for example, you usually get a lot of micro scratches, and that makes it look way more natural. It brings kind of this life to what you're doing, if it makes sense. Yeah. Alright. So I'm trying to, still not the best angle. I might just end up freaking messing up the camera, but I guess that's better. Maybe I should leave it as it was before, better than, I was trying to get like a little bit more of a dynamic angle, but it's, keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Anyways, I'm at 53 minutes. If you decided to join my stream, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I have a bunch of videos about some of the stuff I talk about. I had to, I'm sorry. But yeah, thank you for watching. I have an illustrated deck of cards that can get delivered right to your doorstep. If you want to check it out on my website, I have a Redbubble shop with my illustrations in a bunch of merch, if you want to check that out as well. I also have foam backgrounds on my website, and I try to go live as consistently as I can, but well, as you already heard, I was sick. It was a whole thing, so I'm trying to figure it out again. Thank you, thank you. Likewise, hope to see you next time. I'm trying to figure out the schedule. I might have to stream for a shorter amount of time, but what I'll try to do is let you all know in advance on my channel, so you know when I have time to stream. And I don't know. I'm still figuring that out because I have a short amount of time. I have to work a bunch of stuff into that time, which includes this stream. So, anyways, that's my own thing. So, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you next time. Let me find my music if I can. I don't know if I close that. I have it here. Alright. Until next time. Bye.